Greetings, I am Sean Redman, aka the cheesily named Darth Shawn, and this morning we were treated to a new Star Wars trailer, as the Rogue One teaser trailer was finally announced and shown. There were people that were hoping to see something at D23, and then a little later, and still thought maybe on Force Awakens we get it, and now finally, we've got a teaser trailer for this movie, and I gotta say, it is amazing, and I'm so excited for this movie. This movie looks awesome. And this trailer, it starts right off. You get Felicity Jones' character front and center, Jen Erso, and I love how they're kind of balancing that she's kind of like this rebel who does a lot of, just kind of does things kind of dirty, gets down and fights things, versus, the Mon Mothmas and the Akbars of the world who are doing, trying to create kind of with a system and creating a systematic government and building up. They want the rules, they want the regulations, they want the order, but, there's also that balance of all the people who are just angry at the Empire trying to fight. And I love that kind of early balance in this trailer. You get Mon Mothma, and then you get her kind of talking like, well, I'm a rebel. That's why I'm a troublemaker, because I rebel. And I love that kind of like that balance you see on Mon Mothma's face. And it's really cool how they set that up early, that she's going to be a rebel and a fighter as they're going on this mission. There's a lot of things in this trailer that nostalgia me squealed about and was excited about. I have to say the thing I was most excited about was Mon Mothma. I think the lack of Mon Mothma in Force Awakens saddened me. Kind of just the lack overall, considering she's getting a fair run in a lot of the novels. We've seen her in the Luke Skywalker novel. We've seen her in Aftermath briefly, and how important of a figure she is in creating the government. So it was great to see immediately her right in the beginning of this trailer. The fact that they got the lady who Lucas himself cast in before Revenge of the Sith and ended up having to cut her, and they got her and brought her back in, and she has the look down perfectly. She, the moment like the screen didn't have to say any, doesn't looking down. I'm like, it's Mon Mothma. It's Mon Mothma. I'm so excited that Mon Mothma's in this movie, even if it's just a small moment. That's the only moment we see her in. I'm okay with it. It's awesome that she's in this movie, and I want more of Mon Mothma going forward. So Lucasfilm, get on it. And I'm not going to spend as much time like I did with The Force Awakens, like breaking down the whole trailer. You've seen it. You can look at it. I'm going to highlight the moments that I loved. Ben Mendelsohn's caped visage and, the whitish uniform. Is he a Grand Admiral? I know there are people online that are, no, he's not a Grand Admiral. He's a Fleet Admiral. Look at the insignia. It's very possible if he's a Fleet Admiral. Whatever he is, he's clearly a higher up. And it's cool that they're going to start introducing more of the hierarchy of the Imperial. And we know there's Moffs and Grand Moffs and things like that. But getting kind of more to the military side of it, which is a very military-based film, getting to kind of the who is in charge of a lot of these things. If he's a fleet admiral, how many, is in his fleet? Is he a grand admiral? Are we moving towards a Thrawn-type character? Is he a Thrawn-type character? There's a lot of interesting questions. He just looks awesome in this. There's a later shot where he's walking away in the water with a cape, and he may be the guy I'm most excited for in this film. Maybe Donnie Yen. Maybe Forrest Whitaker. There's a lot of good actors in this movie. Movie's loaded from top to bottom with just good, interesting actors. And I think what they do with this is going to be really to the whole universe, because if they start introducing a hierarchy of the military / what we see, and start really incorporating that in the books and the novels and everything and moving forward, this may be the first one to really introduce kind of that way, because we've seen in The Force Awakens clearly, they've kind of emulated what the Empire did. The First Order is emulating it, but there's a few differences. Like you see a lot of different heads, but they're all underneath Snoke. And kind of be cool to kind of see how the Emperor balanced it. Does he still have this disdain for the alien races in his ranks? So it'll be interesting to see Mendelsohn. If Mendelssohn's playing Thrawn himself, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. That's just the honest truth. I'm very attached to my blue-skinned alien Thrawn. If he's playing a Grand Admiral, that would be really interesting, because it introduces that class, and then in something else, whether it be Rebels, whether it be a novel, a comic, and we can maybe introduce Thrawn in and kind of get him into this universe and see him more and more and more, and then maybe have him in the movies. That would be really cool. But this class, I hope, is kind of introduced, and that's what Ben Mendelsohn is. At least that's what I hope. This trailer did a good job of kind of teasing in a lot of the characters. Seeing Forrest Whitaker in what looks like kind of his bounty hunter type outfit. Seeing Donnie Yen take down some stormtroopers with whatever martial arts he's doing. He's not a Jedi, at least as far as we know, but maybe he's a Force user, or maybe he's just really a kick-ass bounty hunter or a person who is just really strong. I don't know. We're gonna see, but it's really cool how he takes down the stormtroopers. Donnie Yen's character is gonna be might be the most anticipated in this because of just the mystery maybe around him. Is he a Force user? Is he not? But it's cool to see that. There's also like Diego Luna's character is still very, very mysterious, wondering it. We didn't really see Alan Tudyk's character. I'm sure we saw it because there's a lot of droids walking through, and I'm betting, seeing as he's a voice for a motion capture character, that it's going to be a droid, but we'll see what they do. But as a whole, all the characters that they showed, they just kind of teased. We talked about Mendelsohn, or even Felicity Jones kind of got a obviously much bigger pull. But then Mon Mothma, there's the cloaked Vader possibility of, bowing before the throne room with the red guards behind it. If that's Vader and meeting the Emperor or whatever we have to see here. That's really cool that they did a great job of teasing characters, which is what a teaser should be. You gave us the character, Felicity Jones's character, you kind of set it up, you made the whole trailer about it, but then you teased a lot of different things without really revealing the story outside of figuring out about the Death Star. And I think they're doing a good job of, because this is going to be a harder movie to sell than The Force Awakens. They've got to, get people to come in, but keeping that same mystery that The Force Awakens had going into it. If you didn't keep that mystery, but be able to give us those teases, they're going to do a great job. And I think this trailer did a good job of teasing, but didn't give us the meat yet. A surprising aspect, if that is Vader or kneeling before the Emperor or whoever it is, I was really surprised they didn't use Vader in the marketing here. Like, even if just some heavy breathing at some point, considering we know he's going to be on it, we know he's going to be a part of it. It was a little weird that he wasn't in it. I'm not opposed to it because they've done a good job marketing without using Vader and holding him back. I was just a little surprised. I thought they'd have Vader front and center, like the end of the trailer. He was going to be. I'm like, oh, here he comes, and the fact that it didn't is actually, I think, a really good thing for them, because now they still have Vader in their back pocket to throw out for marketing, and being able to put this really impressive trailer together without him, I think, is great for the marketing. And I'm really excited to see how Vader's incorporated, but I hope that I can see that when I'm sitting in the theater and not necessarily from a trailer, just getting the little tidbits. And that's really cool that they were able to keep him secret. If it wasn't Mon Mothma who got the biggest squeal when she appeared on screen, it was definitely when the AT-ATs showed up on sand on an island. Empire's my favorite. I love the AT-ATs. My childhood was reenacting the Battle of Hoth and having toy AT-ATs walking through and just seeing them again on the big screen. It's going to be so awesome. That shot and just all of them around. And there's this feeling of hopelessness when they're around all the time. And there's that same kind of Empire feeling of, well, we're screwed here. I'm going to be interested to see if that's in the middle of a battle, if that's invading a base. Do they have to, how they have to defeat them? What do they do going forward? Because clearly in Empire, they're not, when they're sending out, they're not 100% sure how to take down the AT-ATs until they figure out the tow cables. So I don't know if they figured that out yet, or if they're going to, actually be unable to take them down and there's just a lot of death. Regardless, it's got to be awesome. Give us AT-ATs attacking a base again, but do it in a way that maybe isn't a copy of Empire. And I think, other than just the environment being on sand and trees instead of ice and snow, I think they can do it a little bit differently. So I hope that it's not too much of the Battle of Hoth redone with AT-ATs, and instead it's something fresh and new with it. And then the last shot. It's such a memorable and awesome shot because it covers up with the voiceover saying, "What will you become?" Talking about when you're captured, what will you become? What will you become? Or what will you do? What will you become? And seeing Felicity Jones in like the full outfit, the Imperial, stormtrooper flight outfit and everything, or maybe a shadow trooper or whatever she is, gives you the idea. Well, is she going to be in the Imperial forces? Was she before in it? Is this just using to sneak in? Is this just infiltrating? Whatever it is, it's just really cool, and it gives you to think of like, well, what are they going to do with it? What is her past, or maybe what is her future? What is she doing? If she survives this movie, as we know that getting the Death Star plans ends in death. If she survives, does she switch sides? Was she on the Imperial side beforehand? There's just, before becoming a rebel, there's so many interesting things from it, and just this one little shot says so much about what this movie could be, and why the hype should be huge for this thing, because there's so much they can take these characters, and if these characters are beloved and any of them survive, or we want to know more about them, then there's possibilities for sequels, there's possibility for comics, there's possibility for novels, and all of us in the Star Wars fan base are just like, more stuff? Bring it on. And that's just the start of this. And I love that as the Star Wars universe expands, we can do kind of a point in time sort of movie that is talking about a big event, the Death Star, the first Death Star, and kind of how they react, how they interact. I mean, a lot of the novels that we've seen, Lost Stars, even Tarkin, and a couple of the others, the Kanan and New Dawn, they come together, and all of them do have mentions of the Death Star, and it's such an important event that coming here and doing the timeline, we can do that with these Star Wars stories. And I hope that a lot of the Star Wars stories going forward aren't just like, well, here's the beginning of this lovely character we know. Here's a Han Solo origin story, or here's this person origin story. Instead, they do a lot more of time and events and just give us more details on it. Not that I'm opposed to necessarily origin stories, but I don't want just to be like, well, this character you loved, here's a movie about their early parts. I want to know more story, more about the universe as a whole, and I think this is doing a good job of expanding that New Hope universe. Well, as you can tell, I really liked this trailer, and I'm super excited for this movie. But what did you guys think? Did you like the trailer? What do you want to see in this movie? And what do you want to see in this kind of universe around coming forward? Uh, Let me know in the comments below. As always, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We just crossed 100 subscribers. Didn't think that was ever going to be possible. So thank you to everybody who's subscribed, everyone who's watched, for giving me a platform to talk, and never how small it is. And as always, I am Shawn Redman, aka the cheesily named Darth Shawn. And may the Force be with you. Always.